it's a more interesting ending than the first season. I'll say, because I don't want to give too much away.
Ho, ho, ho.
The Santa Claus is season 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus. So how does this current season stand out from season 1?
They went nuts to me with storyline. My wife and I were watching it we watched it premiered last week, and both of us said, wow, this is a lot of story. You really have to watch it, and it's good because you'll get it 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I said, man, there's a lot of backstory, and the Magnus Antus is mispronounced as Mad Santa, because he's not a Mad Santa. He's just he's a disciplinarian, and he didn't like the way things were going, and he moved on, and he's been, he's been away for a while, and we'll find out why he's been away. And the storyline is really intense, and I like it because it's like any really good story. It's got some layers to it, so I'm really excited about it.
Of course. And Elizabeth, I want to ask you this. Sandra's in an interesting situation because her powers are growing, and we find out that she's likely becoming a witch. So do you think she likes the fact that her powers are getting stronger and she has these witch-like abilities?
I think at first it kind of scares her because she doesn't know what's happening, and she's like, I don't know how to control it. And then when she ends up going to La Befana for help and for so she can train her, she ends up she has these small victories where she can lift something or make something happen, and she's like, oh, I can do it. But I feel like she since she's going through almost like she's becoming a teenager, so she has that, and she gets really angry because she can't control it. So at first I think it goes from scared to oh, I did something, oh my gosh, and then it's oh, I can't control it, and it's it's getting me angry, and I'm breaking stuff and ruining stuff. So I feel like it's kind of a mix of emotions at first.
Right. And Tim, I'll ask you this. One of the more interesting storylines is Scott naming Cal his successor. Do you think that Cal and Scott are similar in terms of learning the Santa Claus role?
Absolutely not. I was thrown into it, and I said, get in one, it was not an accident how Scott Calvin was picked.
Yeah.
This is we'll start it off. I'm starting it off because I'm not sure exactly how this is going to trim itself. It's a forced error. I don't want to leave the North Pole. I've got to retire. I don't know why, because I'm pretty good at this. And I like being Santa Claus. I've got it down. If I get my family involved in this, then I can stay at the North Pole. We won't have to move. Because once you become humanized again, you have to leave the magic world and go back into the real world. And Chicago was just okay for us in season 1. I'm not sure that we all don't miss the North Pole, the magic of it. And if I can get my son to do it, I can kind of stay in the family business as the matriarch or patriarch or some kind of arc. I'm an arc of some sort. Matri, is that man or female? I don't know. Non-gender arc. Okay. Arcriarch. Icriarch.
Absolutely. And Elizabeth, I want to ask you this. There's only a few episodes left until the season ends. How would you best describe these remaining episodes?
Oh, that's a good question. I really think season 2 is for me, it's very different from season 1. And I think it's just it gets really exciting. You see a lot of there's my dad mentioned, there's a lot of storylines to it, and it just gets very exciting near the end. And I just think it's a really special, a very special series, and it's a more interesting ending than the first season. I'll say, because I don't want to give too much away.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Well, Elizabeth, Tim, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and continued success to both of you.